We want to welcome you in. Good evening, everyone. I'm Hunter Sowards. Pat and Rudabeh have the night off. We begin with this tonight. Lawyers representing Palisades Fire victims are releasing new photos and evidence, which they say shows state officials hampering firefighters' efforts to extinguish the Lachman Fire. They say that eventually sparked the Palisades Fire. CBS LA reporter Tom Wade is here to show us what has just been made public. Tom, so many people are so worried about what happened here in these moments.
Yeah, and you know, we're getting more and more, obviously, because this is a very long and ongoing case here. So an attorney representing more than 3,000 Palisades Fire victims says new photo evidence they've just released shows firefighters filling in containment lines around the area where the Lachman Fire burned at the direction, they say, of state parks officials. Attorneys claim that ultimately helped the Palisades Fire rage out of control. Newly released photos from attorneys representing Palisades Fire victims shows what the victims' lawyers claim is firefighters filling in containment lines that were dug out around the area where the Lachman Fire burned. It was the Lachman Fire that smoldered and then exploded into the Palisades Fire a week later. The attorneys claim that state park representatives who managed the area where the Lachman Fire burned told victims' attorneys in a deposition Friday they wanted to avoid confusing the public if they entered the area.
And the claim was, well, we didn't want members of the public, because they didn't close the park for some reason, we didn't want members of the public thinking this hand line that had been cut by the firefighters was somehow a trail that they should go down, basically returning the fuel to the area they just removed it from. And that came as a shock to us today.
Okay, New Year's Day 2025.
Late last month, we showed you this video showing the Lachman Fire still smoldering the day after it started. An LAFD crew on scene. Attorneys claim the person wearing what appears to be a California State Park sweatshirt told crews where they could and could not go, allegedly telling firefighters they could not use chainsaws to carve out containment lines because it would endanger protected plant species. As we reported in November, attorneys say firefighters were given a map showing the locations of the protected vegetation. Attorneys have now released an image of that map.
Those red circles are intended to indicate locations within Topanga State Park that contain protected plant species or archaeologically significant sites.
The highlighted area is where the Lachman Fire blew up into the Palisades Fire. We reached out to California State Parks for a response to all of the claims being made by the plaintiff's attorneys. A spokesperson responded with this: State Parks will continue to litigate this in court, and we would encourage plaintiff's attorneys to do the same rather than making misleading comments to the press. The spokesperson also referred us to a statement they released to an investigation subcommittee of the U.S. Senate, saying in part, State Parks does not favor plants over people or have authority to overrule firefighting decisions. According to a transcript from the deposition released by plaintiffs' attorneys, a state park official admitted they saw smoldering but did not report it to other officials after the Lachman Fire was thought to have been put out, and they did not close down the park as is protocol. So we'll see how this plays out in court. Obviously, playing out in the public is one thing. We'll see where this falls in the ongoing legal case.
A lot of eyes are focused on this one. All right, Tom, thanks for that update.